please. Welcome everyone. My name is Nicolas Morel. I'm from Embraer Global Corporate Communications. Thank you for joining us for the flight today. We will have a presentation before we get to the aircraft. But before that, I would like to call Mr. John Slattery, President and CEO of Embraer Commercial Aviation, for initial remarks. John.
Thank you, Nicholas. Good morning, bon dia, everybody. So I've been coming to this air show now for 22 years, and by a long shot, for many different reasons. This particular air show is going to be unique for the Embraer team, and of course we have the Shark with us today, and it's really a great pleasure for us to host you onto what is the quietest narrow-body cabin in the world of any aircraft being produced by any OEM in the world. Some of you have been on the aircraft already, on the inaugural flight with Farnborough, our launch operator for the E2 program. But I think it'll be an interesting experience today when we all get together. And the one thing I think that will resonate with you is how quiet, how easy it is to talk. The great thing, of course, about the aircraft, one of the very many great things about the aircraft is the cabin experience, not just the sound, but of course there's no seat in the middle on either aisle. So again, my only objective this morning is to welcome you as your host along with my colleagues from Embraer. Today's not the press conference, of course, that's on Tuesday morning at 11 a.m. I'm hopeful and confident that we'll have some good news for you to share with you on Tuesday morning, and maybe even a little bit of news might come out before Tuesday. So we're very excited. I think this is going to be a robust air show for Embraer. I think this is probably the biggest footprint chalet we've ever had. Of course, we have the E2 here, but my colleagues in Executive Aviation have the new state-of-the-art Legacy here, and my colleagues from Defence have the case here. So we're very excited and look forward to spending time with all of you on board on the airplane later on. So with that, I'm going to hand over to Rodrigo, who's going to bring us through a technical briefing on the status of the aircraft and the program. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John. Okay, so I'm actually going to start just talking a little bit briefly about the market. We actually just released the 15th edition of our market outlook. And I believe it's a very useful tool, especially if you want to understand the trends and the important things that we see going forward, especially in the market up to 150 seats, where it's the core market for Embraer. So we see world economy doing relatively well, with average growth close to 3%, generating a demand for air travel for 4.5%, and resulting in a fleet growth of 3% on average. With those numbers, looking specifically on the segment up to 150 seats, what we see is 10,550 new aircraft deliveries over the next 20 years, and they are split about 45% of that demand for the aircraft up to 100 seats, and 55% on the segment between 100 and 150 seats. And if we look at the drivers for that demand, roughly 1/3, let's say, is for current fleet replacement, and 2/3 will be for growth of that segment. And one of the biggest responsible for that big part of growth is that when we look at the demand for air travel growth of 4.5%, actually, if we split between the advanced economies and emerging economies, that is a heavier